what makes you think you girls are not a lot? And from a Gen X guy, you're saying it's the Gen X man is ill-equipped to deal with this. Why do we need to be equipped to deal with it? And again, I'm asking
No, I
for the masses,
understand
right?
for the
I'm
right.
not
Yeah, okay. So, because it's not complicated stuff, right? Okay, so when people get, let's say they're getting married, I'm gonna bring marriage into this. I know not everyone gets married, but let's say they get married, right? And so back for Gen Xers, no one ever talked about roles. No one ever talked about a man helping on the domestic front. That was not talked about. What was talked about is a woman should go to work, a woman should have children, a woman should raise those children, a woman should cook dinner, do the laundry, clean the house, plan everything, all the doctor's appointments, drive everyone everywhere, basically do everything. The man goes to work, the man takes care of the lawn and all the leaves and the gutters and all that stuff, right? So that is how Gen X was sold. Men and boys and girls were sold that. You boys were sold that, and us girls were sold that, right?
mhm.
Now, in there, no one acknowledged emotional intelligence at all, even in the girls. And then the emotional development of both Gen X boys and Gen X girls was not acknowledged on either front, right?
Mhm.
So we just were kind of like, we're all those things Gen X went through. But
Yep.
let's just focus on emotional development. That was not acknowledged really in general, in general. So then we grow up and we marry each other.
Mhm.
And in our minds, we have two different ideas of how things are going to go, right? Us Gen X girls think, of course, a woman can do everything because that's what we see on TV, and those are the commercials and the TV shows. And we see our moms and our aunts working, sometimes our grandmas, single moms, married moms. Everyone seems to be fine. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it all. And then the men are like, yeah, that she's going to do it all. And I'm going to go to work and take care of things around the house. And no emotional development happened, right? So then as the women are humming along doing 90% of the domestic load, in addition to working a full-time job and handling same stuff that men are handling at their job. I'm not saying literally the same, but the same pressures.
Why is it different? It's the same
Say
yeah, it
yeah, yeah,
is. It
same. So
is.
handling the same stuff, 40 hours a week,
Mhm.
give or take, whatever. And the second job of the domestic load and the children. A human being can't handle that emotionally and mentally. They get burnout. They become disconnected. They go into fight or flight. They go into autopilot because it's a grind that never ends because you never get a break. Women were not coming home from work, sitting on a couch, turning on the TV and chilling while someone's making dinner in the kitchen. The men were. The children were not going to the men asking for help on this, help on that. The mothers, the soul. This is how it ended up for us as Gen Xers, right? So then she comes to him and she's like, I'm upset about this, or I need this, or can we talk about this? And it could be the smallest thing, like, I can't handle, I need the bathrooms cleaned, or I need you to take me out on a date, or I need you to help Jimmy with his homework. It could be anything, right? She's asking for help. And she's probably been grinding so long that by the time she comes to him, she's at her wit's end. So there's a chance it could be coming intently and in an intense way. Like,
Mhm.
dude, whatever, I need help.
Mhm.
Because his emotional development wasn't acknowledged, he's feeling completely overwhelmed with this reaction. He feels defensive. He feels like she's saying he's doing something wrong. He thinks she's acting crazy. Where's this coming from? Everything's been fine. Where's this coming from? Why all of a sudden are you acting like this? We've all been fine. When really she hasn't been fine. She's been falling apart. And then he's like, I can't deal with this. I'm going to avoid. I'm going in the garage. I can't deal with this. She feels pushed aside. She feels like he's not going to help. She feels like she's invalidated. And that happens over and over and over again. And eventually the marriage falls apart when the children are young, or she hits menopause, or she
I
hits midlife and she's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You don't hear me. I've had done this for 30 years or 25 years, whatever. I'm going to go spend the rest of my life for myself.
yeah.
And then the men are mad